Imagine a mind that isn't confined to a brain. Imagine an intelligence that lives in the limbs. Out on the sea floor, an arm snakes out from a rocky crevice. It doesn't just reach, it explores. It doesn't just touch, it tastes. With every sucker that makes contact, the arm learns about the world. This is a rock, that is algae, and this is the faint chemical trail of a crab. The arm changes its path, coils, and prepares to strike, all before the brain has issued a direct command. This isn't science fiction. This is the daily life of an animal that has delegated its thinking, outsourcing its mind to its 8 semi-independent arms. Meet the common octopus, a creature that challenges our very definition of where a mind begins and where the body ends. This remarkable engineer of flesh and mind is Octopus vulgaris, the common octopus. You can find it gliding through the sunlit reefs of the Mediterranean or prowling the cooler Atlantic coasts, from the shallowest tide pools down to the dim light of 200 meters. Its body is a masterpiece of soft-bodied design. 3 hearts pump its copper-based blue blood, 2 for the gills, and 1 for the rest of the body. With no bones to constrain it, it can pour itself through any opening larger than its beak. It lives fast and burns bright, often for little more than a year or 2. This short, intense life is spent in constant motion, hunting, hiding, exploring, and solving the relentless puzzles of the ocean floor. To understand the octopus, you have to rethink the brain. An octopus has around 500 million neurons. That's in the same league as a small dog. But here's the revolutionary part. Nearly 2/3 of those neurons aren't in its central brain. They are distributed throughout its 8 arms. Each arm contains a sophisticated bundle of nerves, a kind of local processing center that can manage fine motor control and react to sensory information on its own. The central brain acts more like a CEO, setting the high-level goals. Find food, hide from that predator, investigate that jar. The arms are the highly skilled project managers, figuring out the complex details on the ground. This distributed network allows the octopus to do something incredible, multitask on a level we can barely comprehend, with each arm running its own subroutine, all at once. And the tools for that investigation are the suckers. A single arm can be studied with over 200 of them, meaning a mature octopus commands a sensory array of well over 1,000 individual points of contact. But a sucker is so much more than a grip. It is a combined fingertip, nose, and tongue. Chemoreceptors packed into each one allow the octopus to taste by touch, detecting the molecular signature of prey, predator, or potential mate just by making contact. As an arm sweeps across the sea floor, it's not just feeling texture, it's reading a chemical map. This torrent of data, pressure, texture, chemical composition, is processed locally within the arm itself. The arm decides how to bend, where to probe next, creating a living, wet search algorithm that is both elegant and ruthlessly efficient. This hyper-aware body is guided by a strange set of eyes. The octopus has sharp vision, with a rectangular pupil that controls light beautifully, but astonishingly, it is colorblind. It lacks the different types of photoreceptor cells that we use to distinguish between hues like red and green. Yet, as we'll see, it is one of the greatest camouflage artists on the planet. How does it solve this paradox? Part of the answer is that it sees a quality of light we can't: polarization. By detecting the orientation of light waves, it can see enhanced contrast, making reflective fish or transparent prey pop against the background. Furthermore, scientists have discovered that octopus skin itself contains light-sensitive proteins called opsins. the same kind found in eyes. The skin may not see an image, but it might be able to sense local brightness, helping to fine-tune its camouflage on the fly, a body that helps the eyes to see. And that camouflage is the octopus's masterpiece. Its skin is a living, programmable display screen of almost magical complexity. The top layer contains thousands of tiny, pigment-filled sacs called chromatophores. Each one is surrounded by muscles that can stretch it from a tiny dot to a wide disc in milliseconds, revealing its color. Beneath them, iridophores act like living mirrors, reflecting blues and greens, while a base layer of white leucophores scatters ambient light to create a perfect canvas. But it doesn't stop with color. The octopus can change its texture too. By contracting tiny muscles called papillae, it can transform its skin from perfectly smooth to a jagged, spiky mess that perfectly mimics a craggy rock or a clump of algae. All of this, color, pattern, brightness, and texture, can shift in less than a second. A diver can watch one morph from mottled stone to pale sand in the space of a single exhalation. It's a feat of computation that relies on context, brightness, and texture from its arms, creating a near-perfect illusion without ever truly seeing the colors it imitates. With a life so short, an octopus has to be a quick study. And it is. This is not just instinct, it's genuine problem-solving. In laboratory settings, they've famously learned to open screw-top jars to get at a tasty crab inside, coordinating several arms to brace the jar while others work the lid. They learn from experience, cutting their time from many minutes down to mere seconds. In the wild, this flexible intelligence is on display every day. They are meticulous architects of their dens, carefully selecting and arranging stones, shells, and even human debris to create a barricade. They'll pull this door closed when they rest and sweep it aside when they emerge to hunt. This isn't just piling up rocks, it's manipulating the environment to create safety, a clear sign of a mind that can plan ahead. To make this team of 8 smart arms work, evolution had to solve 2 major problems: how to avoid chaos and what to do when a part is lost. The solution to chaos is a chemical secret. Octopus skin seems to produce a signal that tells its own suckers not to grab on. An arm can brush against the octopus's body without latching on uncontrollably. But the moment it touches another object, or another octopus, the suckers engage. It's a simple, elegant rule that prevents the animal from tying itself in an impossible knot. The solution to loss is even more dramatic: regeneration. If a predator bites off an arm, the octopus can regrow it over weeks and months. The new limb doesn't just grow back, it rebuilds its complex nerve bundles, its suckers, its muscles, restoring full independent function. The team of 8 simply gets back to full strength, ready for the next challenge. All of this incredible biology, the distributed mind, the instant camouflage, the rapid learning, is channeled toward a single, final purpose. The common octopus is semilparous. It breeds only once. After mating, the female finds a secure den and lays a breathtaking number of eggs, sometimes over 100,000. They hang from the ceiling of her lair like shimmering curtains. For weeks, or even months, depending on the water temperature, she dedicates her entire being to them. She does not leave to eat. She constantly cleans the eggs, fanning them with jets of water to provide oxygen and ward off fungi. She guards them fiercely from any intruder. Her body consumes itself to fuel this final act of devotion. She fades away, and often dies just as her tiny, perfect offspring hatch and drift away into the ocean, a new generation carrying the blueprint for this alien intelligence. In the common octopus, we see a completely different path to a complex mind. It's an intelligence that isn't centralized, but shared. A body where the skin can sense light and the arms can taste and decide. It's a quiet testament to the sheer creativity of evolution. We tend to see our own blueprint, a big brain in a bony skull, as the only way to be smart. But the octopus shows us that's simply not true. It is a being of distributed genius, a fleeting, beautiful marvel that solves the ancient problems of survival with a toolkit from another world, right here in our own. If you like animals that pull stunts like this, subscribe to Faunery. We dive into strange bodies and wild tricks, in plain words. If this kind of wild design makes you smile, stick with Faunery. We do animals and nature as wonder, from deep-sea hunters to insects that shoot fire. Subscribe and drop a like if you enjoyed this dive, and explore the channel for more creatures that rewrite the rules. See you next time.